Hey everybody. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Delta. I find it interesting that this new strain goes by Delta variant. If you're familiar with MK Ultra and mind control, you know that Delta is actually for programming as well, okay? Because under MK Ultra, you have different subconscious levels that can be reached. If you're familiar with neuroscience, you'll know that there are 5 distinctive brainwaves. You have your beta, you have your alpha, you have your theta, you got the gamma, and delta. Did I get them all? Alpha, beta, theta, delta, gamma. Those are the ones. But really, the one I want to focus on today is the delta variant. So with Delta, I don't know who's really familiar with the brain waves and hertz and so forth, but in order to program someone under Delta, it's 0.5 to 4 hertz. Interesting. Delta frequency brain waves, it's the slowest and it's the most deep. It's a dreamless state. When you are under Delta, you're no longer dreaming. You are totally just transcendental. You're in basically you're just in a meditation state of physical awareness, but not like a full awareness. You are actually completely detached from yourself during that sleep stage. The Delta level realm is where you're basically considered just your unconscious mind. It's the gateway to your collective consciousness. It's also referred to as the collective consciousness, also referred to as other things, but that's kind of the basic of it. When you're in this state, information that you receive that would be otherwise be unavailable, say if it's so deep on a subconscious level that it has to be retrieved through other means. So it's also, though, on the good side, besides the MK Ultra mind control and how you can be programmed during this Delta phase, there is a positive side to it. And that's the part I like to talk about, is the healing aspects. So with the Delta level, it's associated also with healing and cell regeneration and regeneration of yourself. So each frequency or brainwave that you have, it's measured in cycles per seconds, which are the hertz, right? Now, with that, they have their own set of characteristics representing a specific level of consciousness within your brain. So, what's interesting with the Delta is that if you were under MK programming and there was a handler present or a secret cult, they could access your data. See, MK victims often don't know that they are under a program because they're in such a deep hypnosis. But there are hidden factions out there who have access to this. See, and they'll try to gather your information by getting inside of your brain and getting the keys. Nothing new under the sun. Devil and his tricks. So, I don't know, just an interesting correlation between Delta and this new Delta variant. You know, also something interesting is if you're familiar with MK Ultra and Gottlieb and how all of this stuff started, then you know they use drugs to hypnotize people. Isn't it something that marijuana is now legal? You know, back in the day, they used LSD and other things to make people willing slaves, or unwilling or unknown slaves, because they don't know they're asleep. Like a lot of these people out here that I'm talking to right now, still asleep. But hopefully a lot of them wake up. So with this programming, You have to be careful, you guys, of what you listen to, who you have around you, and you need to look at why people are in your lives. They're either meant or sent. What are the people in your life? Are they meant or are they sent? A lot of us and people who've been through Delta programming know how it works. A trainer generally starts with a child at the age of about 8, because before then, their brain is not able to process or comprehend what's going on. They found that 8 is the exact age frame where they could break a person's mind and reprogram them. I know, being that I'm also a child who was born into a lot of fuck shit, and I've been in certain training centers myself. See, and one of the things with Delta that they do is they flash cards in front of your face to program you, and they tell you when you have reached the Delta state. They flash robes with triangles in front of you. They flash triangles in front of you and other shapes and other things as memory markers, as trigger points, so that when somebody who's been a victim of ritual abuse, who's under programming, sees these cues and triggers, and then a certain person, maybe trained in a certain occultic art, comes along, and then they try to retrieve the data by flashing symbols, saying certain hidden words, trying to extract the data. See, here's the good thing about me. I may have been one of those children who was abused, and I may even have a little bit of that super soldier programming. The good thing is I survived it and operate above it. I know things I talk about because I've lived through them. It's not that I've just researched this stuff. No, I've personally been through it. A lot of it. So when I speak, I'm speaking from a place of knowing. I don't think or have an idea of what happened or a hypothesis. No, I lived it. Some of this stuff I lived. Not all of it, but some of it. So mind control is done through drugs and forced trauma. So let's look at the state of the world today. Drugs are becoming legal. Marijuana is legal, which I think is good because I smoke marijuana myself. But I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say it's not a gateway. It is a gateway. It's a gateway to your mind. Now, under mind control, when they train you in centers and other places, they drug you, put you under hypnosis, and then cause chaos so that your mind goes into a fight, flight, or freeze pattern, and you could be reprogrammed. So interesting that during this age we're living in, that now drugs of sorts are becoming legal. They talk a lot of hidden occultic knowledge out loud nowadays. Sounds to me like mind programming conditioning. So just like with 9/11, for those who still think that that wasn't set up, I hope you do your studies while there's still time, because you're behind. So this is another one of those events. We have the CV out, which is out to cause chaos, destruction, of course, get people freaked out and scared. Then you could be reprogrammed. Then they give you drugs. They offer you marijuana, medication, mood-altering drugs. They offer you all kinds of stuff, ayahuasca, all kinds of stuff to take you out of your mental state. Why do you think people want you out of your mental state? Might they be trying to get in your dome? Your mental dome? See, in the end days, the Bible talks about Christians and so forth being forced with false worship or death. So it's interesting with this programming and this shots and the CV, the coincidences that I see. I don't know, just my thoughts, guys. Side note, I apologize to any of you MK betas and monarchs and subproject 68s and other projects who see me right now and might be triggered by the necklace I'm wearing, which could be misconstrued as the MK Ultra sex beta kitten operating on a presidential diamond level. I'm not. Do I know the program? I see it? Yes. Am I under the program? No. But I'm trying to give visual signs as warnings and triggers to hopefully help people not fall into the program and not have fear, but to wake up and see what's really going on. I'm only one person. I can't do a whole lot on my own, but I'm trying to do what I can. Even wearing my little MK outfit today. Look, I even got on the rose bra. And those who know those who know MK Ultra know what the rose stands for. The goal is de-patterning your mind. The goal is, instead of having these hidden occultic places come in with keys to unlock certain memories to get data out of you, become whole. Don't let them use your parts that are separated from you temporarily to be accessed and used for nefarious purposes. Don't give away your ideas for free to these people. Don't think that everything you share is because these people love you and want to be near you. Unfortunately, demons and devils can jump through people. So if you don't have a solid foundation, if you know how demons work, they jump from person to person. They're a spirit that can go into anybody. Just like the Holy Spirit. Those of us who have the Holy Spirit and are covered by the blood, you know what I'm talking about because you can see it. Deprogram your mind from the bull. Wake up from the false programming. Stop believing everything you see on TV. Stop falling for every psyop. Stop falling and being deceived by fake wonders. You know, with 9/11, it was designed to cause chaos, right? Why do you think they want to do that? When you cause mass chaos, you could reprogram people on a mass level. I don't know. I don't know it all. I don't claim to, but I do know what I've survived. I know what I've been trained in. And I know a lot of my training is probably very unique to the average person, because unless you've been in MK centers and have spent years programming with these people and learning, you wouldn't know. It's not because I'm better. It's not because I'm worse. It's simply because of what I was born to. So I have had access to certain things that at the time I didn't know had so much pertinence. When I first started going through MK programming, as far as in a literal training center, I didn't know what was going on. I was living on Oak Grove, and every day after school, I'd go to this center to practice my stuff. So anyways, when I'm speaking to you, I'm not speaking out my ass. I'm speaking from experience. And don't get me wrong, I'm not stupid. I know the risk I take by talking out. All truth speakers know the risk they take. My life doesn't come without threats. See, the thing is, regardless of the threats that may come my way, or the people who may like to keep me quiet, it's not going to happen. Because here's the thing, as a watchman on the wall, if I see what's coming and I don't say anything, I am a part of it and a part of the problem. And that's not something that I can do. My goal is to warn people. My goal is to help wake people up, even at the cost of what I go through on a regular basis. I'm not going to say that it's easy, but somebody's got to do it. Because if I stay silent, the information I have dies with me. And I'd rather that not be. I'd rather be able to pass on what I've learned so that so the next generations, and so forth, might have a little bit of extra insight in areas that maybe you wouldn't have seen. So although the cost is high and my life has been very hard, always, but I still smile and I still make it through it. If I were to share with you some of the things I've been through, you would say, how am I still standing? Much less, how am I smiling? You know, I remember not too long ago, I was chatting with Tahuti. And Tahuti, you know, he's on Killer Priest podcast, and he knows what I've been through. And he was telling me it's a miracle I survived. Because most of the people who went through a lot of the stuff that I did, the children don't make it. Or the adults don't make it. They don't survive because it's too much trauma. And the ones that do survive generally have mental issues because they can't process all the fuck shit they had to go through. See, I'm lucky to be healed and delivered. I'm an overcomer, so I can talk about this. Are there going to be consequences? Sure. But I trust that I'll be safe because I'm doing the right thing in the right spirit, and I don't have any malice or ill intentions. I just want to help. So I have faith that as long as I am operating in the right spirit, that God's going to continue to cover me. He's going to cover you too. I have faith. Don't give up.